Today, I will teach you how to make delicious miso soup in 5 easy steps in 5 minutes. This recipe was taught to me by a Japanese grandma, so you know it's going to be good.
Welcome back to the Sea Festival! It's your penguin girl, Umisai.
Here are all the ingredients you are going to need for today's recipe. You'll need tofu, cut wakame, green onion, hondashi, white miso paste, and water. Alright, now that you have all the ingredients, time to move to step 1, which is to boil the water. Get any pot and boil around 2.5 cups of water at high heat. This can take around 2 to 3 minutes probably, depending on your stove. A tip is to cover the pot so it boils quicker. While it's boiling, we can move to step 2. Cut the tofu and green onion. You can use any medium firm tofu from your local grocery. Today, I will only be using 1 block of tofu. Aim to cut the tofu into around 3 by 3 centimeter cubes. As you can see, for 1 block of tofu, I cut 3 times on one side and then quarters on the last 2 remaining sides. Try to keep it evenly cut as possible. Next, we cut the green onion. You want to keep it as tiny pieces, around 1 centimeter in length. I used 2 long pieces of green onion. Obviously, you can use more or less tofu or green onion depending on what you like. Step 3. Boil the tofu, cut wakame, and dashi. Once your pot boils, put in the cut tofu that you already prepared. Be careful not to burn yourself. Next, you can put in your cut wakame. Some people like soaking their wakame in a separate bowl beforehand, but you can just pour it directly in. I like seaweed, so I put a lot in. Next, you should add any sort of dashi. I'm using hondashi. Now, leave the pot to boil again. Step 4. Bring the pot to low heat and dissolve the white miso paste. Once the pot boils, make sure to bring the pot to low heat so that the soup is no longer boiling. In a separate bowl, measure out the miso paste you will be using. Make sure you're using white miso paste because that's the one that tastes really good in soup. I use around 2 tablespoons, I think. You can adjust based off how much miso paste and salt you like in your soup. Next, get the warm water from the soup and pour it on your miso paste. Slowly dissolve the paste in your bowl using your spoon, or you can use chopsticks to lightly dissolve it. Once there's no more solid chunks of miso paste in your bowl, you can pour it into the soup. Again, make sure there's no active boiling. I like using the warm water to fully get out all the miso paste. You do this by whooshing the bowl like this. You can leave the soup on low heat until serving. Miso soup tastes best fresh though. Last step, step 5, serve with fresh green onion. Using the green onion you sliced, sprinkle it lightly on your soup before serving. The fresh taste of green onion definitely will make the soup taste really good. Enjoy!